Good day to you. I am LionHeartBlue and welcome to a special episode of my Scrap Mechanics series. If you have been watching my ScrapChat series, you'll know in the final episode we had with Soup Lady, Germanite and Seraph were building AI cars, or they built AI cars to drive around the ScrapChat village. I want to give that a go. And in this series we'll be looking at how to do it, so there'll be short little episodes, not really tutorials because I'm going to learn as I go, and we're going to see if we can get this car to drive up this road and then around a corner or something, and if that all goes successfully I'll join this road up and we'll see if we can get it to go do full circles and then maybe leave it in the ScrapChat village to drive around. I am sitting at the moment with my son who's helping me as well, and we'll see how we get on. In this particular episode here we're going to attempt to just get this vehicle to drive forwards and stop on this line here. That's what we're attempting to achieve today. What I've built here so far is simply a vehicle that has two buttons. The left button controls the left side, the right button controls the right side. So it's basically very basic sort of tank steering, which I will attempt to demonstrate now. All the logic gates are there just in preparation in case I need them, but I'm not using them at the moment for anything. So if I press the buttons, you'll see that we go forwards. If I turn the right one off, we start turning right. Left one off, we stop. Turn the right one back on, we turn left. And that's how we're going to operate going forwards. There's no reverse on this at the moment. I don't think we're going to need it, but let's see how we get on. Okay, so I've got the car up on the lift. As you can see underneath, I have placed a little pipe piece and attached a bearing, because I think once I place the sensors on here we're going to need to use a controller just to get them to point down at the ground rather than pointing straight in front of them. So I'm going to add a whole row of them here, and the thought being that all of these will be able to look at, where's the road gone, at any lines in front of them. So if that car starts to cross over here, it's going to see a white line. If it tries to, I don't think it won't be able to cross there, but we'll put the control in anyway. If it tries to cross there, it will activate it to turn back right again, briefly. So that's where we're going to start. And then the theory is that if all four of them see a white at the same time, it will stop, because it would have seen this line here. That's the theory. I'm thinking then we just need we need one switch to control everything, so we can turn it on or off. So let's connect this switch. Now we want the switch to go to two AND gates, I believe. So these gates, as I said to you, at the moment are not doing anything, but we want to say if this switch is on, then we want, let me just disconnect that from there. So if this switch is on, then one AND gate will turn this engine on. In fact, the engine can turn them both on. That's the basic simple form. So that switch will turn that AND gate on, which will turn these engines on. So that's the first bit. Let me take this off so we can see what we're doing. You see that turns that AND gate on. So if I wasn't on the lift, that should now start the car. Yeah, and that will turn it off. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to fit in a controller in here. So I'm just going to take out two of those blocks. We'll fit the controller in this little gap here, and I always like to do it with a panel facing upwards. We'll connect the controller to, not to that, to the bearing on that side and the bearing on this side, and then we should be able to make that point towards the ground a bit. Let's have a look. that this one's pointing in the wrong direction. There we go. In fact, as you could see, that one was separate, which means that I should probably, to make this work better, make sure that these are all welded together. Yeah, it's because that one was separate. So now they're all welded together. We can try that again. You can see they're all pointing down at 15 degrees. So I think let's do 30, maybe 45 is better. So that's now pointing straight at the ground. So when it sees, I mean, obviously this is fine for when it stops on the white line. So if all of these see the white line, we can get it to stop. So it will turn this switch off. But this is not good enough for this line and this line here. We're going to need a sensor sort of pointing down to the side, I think. Maybe if I do put it there underneath the vehicle, maybe. So what I'm hoping with this little series here is you'll see I'm sort of taking everything very basic, and I don't really have the knowledge, but I'm hoping I'm going to learn. I'm hoping that some of you might learn from this, but also those that have the knowledge will be able to help me improve and get this right. So in the next episode, well, actually under this video you can comment and tell me what I did wrong, what I could do to improve things, and make any suggestions of what I could do to make this better, but also what I need to do to it for the next stage. And then we'll pick up those changes in the next episode, which will probably be next week. Right, so we've got the sensors all connected, but they're not hooked up to anything. So what we want to say is if all of these four here see a white line, we want it to turn off, which means we just need one logic gate. So we use this one here, and we can put them all into that one. And we're going to set this here to be a range, maybe just a 5, and color mode will be white. So if it sees white, it will come on. So 5, color mode. To demonstrate that, if I put all of these down here, you'll see at the moment none of them are on, and that isn't on here. Let's give it a quick, where's my paint tool? Don't have one. Oh. Drag the paint tool to here. Choose white, and then let's paint this. And you should now see all the sensors have come on. And that hasn't. Oh, I didn't connect it to that one. I connected it to the wrong one. See, I've connected to the same one the switch is on. So that won't work because the switch is off. So let's undo that, and we'll do it properly. Whoops. This is one of the reasons I struggle a lot with the logic things. These blobs are so big. Right, you see that's come on now? Right, so that should make a bit more sense now. So they're all on because I see this white block, and now that's come on. So what we want to say is if this is on, and this is on, so if this is moving, we want this one to turn off. This one now is controlling those two engines. So that's the switch. So that turns the switch on. So now we can say if this is on, we'll turn this one on, which will turn the engines on. But if this one's on, which will connect into there. So how I'm doing this is we have this one here is an AND. This one here operates the motors, the electric motors, and both of these have to be true for this to light up. But this one is a NAND, so it only lights up if this here do not light up. So as you can see, it sees a grey block, sees a white block. If I take them away, it now turns this gate on. If I turn that off, the thing now stops. So this should, in theory, get us to our finish line. Over here, if I point it in the right direction, which I think is that way. Obviously we don't have steering at the moment, but let's just see if we get to the other end and it stops when we get there.
2,000 years later.
Okay, we're approaching the white line. I'm hoping this is going to stop. And it does. There we go. So this is the first part of the AI car I wanted to do. Obviously I need to work on these sensors at the front. If I get my thing up, this one and this one, to activate if they notice anything, like if they see a white line on the left or right, then they need to turn left or right. So that would turn oh, okay, I've just knocked it off the white line. Okay, so now I have made these sensors here. They will sense black, and if they sense the black, which is the color of the tarmac, if you like, then these will be off. This one's for the left, this one's for the right. They are hooked up into these logic gates here, which are just straight ANDs. This one's controlling this engine, and the second one here is controlling that engine. So I disconnected this one here, and the switch, which is going into this logic gate, is now connected to this one and this one. I'll attempt to show you. So that logic gate there, which we were using, is now not being used. So the theory is, if this senses something other than black, it should turn this one. I might have to do that the opposite way, actually, thinking about it. So this sensor here should probably control that one, and this one should control that one, so that you turn left or right depending on. So if this sensor's on, it means it's going to the right, so you want to turn the left one off, right? That should be, I don't know if I've got that right. Only one way to find out. Turn it on and see. So we're not moving at all now because neither of those are on. So they shouldn't be AND gate, they should be straight ANDs. Let me turn that off first. Well, you see how it stopped then? So although I hadn't got it set up right, that might be what we were looking for. It's the wrong way around. It always likes to face the wrong way. I don't know why. So let's turn this on. Right, so now it's going. If we can attempt to knock it off course. Doesn't want to move. There we go. Yep, didn't work at all. It was a bit of a harder... Oh, hey, it's kind of working. It's attempted to make its way back onto the road. Well, maybe it is working, although it's the wrong side of the road. Let's pick it up and let's put it back here. Again, the wrong way around. Let's get that out of the way. I need to think of a way without smacking it so hard to encourage it, you know, to cross over here. But let's see if we can try that again. So let's just give it a little... Oh, it's already off course. No. Did it? Is it? No? Oh, no. Yep. Seems to be turning. So, it's not quite right. I'll tell you why. You see that this... It saw the white line and it moved. It turned one engine off, so it turned to the left. But then it stopped here. What we need is 3 of them in a row or at least another one here, this side, that would react sort of sooner. So if you imagine now, if there was another sensor here, that would still see that white line and would still turn it furthermore. Yeah, I think we're getting there. I think that's what I need to do. I think for this first video in this series, you can see we're getting there. This is the makings of it. I don't want to go too far and too complicated each video, so we're going to leave that there. Thank you very, very much for watching. I really welcome all your comments to help me proceed in this and get things right. Am I right that I need 2 sensors or 3 sensors in either side? How can I detect this block here? Maybe I need sensors pointing, you know, somewhere here to detect if I'm going to hit this block. Any suggestions you've got on how I should improve this for the next episode? Bear in mind that I want to just improve it, staying in between these things, and then in probably a third episode we'll look at adding a timer so it stops here for a certain amount of time and then drives off. So think about how I can improve it to then make it sort of turn left or right. And maybe we'd have to have like little markers, so we can say if it sees a red marker it turns left, if we see a right marker, blue marker, it turns right, something like that. But anyway, please leave your comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and make sure you hit that alarm bell so you get notified of all the new videos as well. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.